You will not win games, and then you rely on set piece.
Guardiola is trying something new. Do you know what it is?
Funny enough, I won't blame Arteta, honestly.
You cannot have so much respect for these teams.
It's so unfortunate that we are talking about Champions League now and some team cannot have anything to say.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Over the Bar podcast. And today we have a guest with us. First, my name is Micah. I have with me the regulars, Brown, AY, and Shola. And we have a guest amongst us today who will be introducing herself shortly before we get into the talking points. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Sekinat and I'm an Arsenal fan of Gunners.
Of Gunners. Well, we are. Anyways, we will first start talking about the big game of the weekend, the biggest game of the past Premier League game week 23 weekend, which was between Manchester United and Arsenal. And a few other games happened that had some influence on that game, or will have an influence on that game going forward. City won, and Villa also won. There's pressure at the moment for all Arsenal fans, and they are in that moment where it seems more like a deja vu. Is this happening again? Are we losing the league again? And all of that. So to start with this, I would like to start with AY. Manchester United, Arsenal, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so first and foremost, I would have to congratulate the United fans shamefully because, of course, I thought we were going to win the game due to so many factors in our favor. The home factor, the fact that we are going for the league, the fact that I thought that Arteta was going to take this match more serious, but unfortunately, he did not. Carrick came with a much better plan, and the plan was the same plan he used against Manchester City to play a very low block and hit you on the counter, which worked perfectly against City and also worked against Arsenal. First 10, 15, 20 minutes of the game, Arsenal had the ball. We should have scored at least one goal, but we eventually scored, and Arsenal, through Zubimendi, decided to dash United the goal, which, to my honest opinion, was what gave them the morale to go on and win the game. Because if Arsenal kept on with that momentum, and that's one thing that Arsenal needs to improve on. Once you score, don't play low block. Continue the same momentum that you've been carrying on. But immediately we scored, we started playing low block. Zubi started taking extra touches on the ball, and one of those touches he made cost Arsenal a very, very avoidable goal. Because before that, they were not, I'm sure United fans will agree, they were not really playing anything. They were sitting, maybe that was their game plan. They were sitting back. We did not see anybody. But once Umbuemo scored, we started seeing, what's his name? Most of their players started seeing Bruno. He had a very fantastic game. Started seeing this guy that this their former coach wanted to sell. Kobe Mino. They really, really played well. And second half came, they took the lead again. Arsenal brought on so many players, brought on Eze, brought on Gyökeres, brought on Ben White, brought on Madueke, brought on so many players. But we were able to score from our signature set piece, which of course was a goal. And one thing I would blame, I would blame so many people. Number one, funny enough, I won't blame Arteta, honestly. Or the bulk of the blame will not be on Arteta. The bulk of the blame will be on the players. To start with, if we are playing against Manchester United and we are in need of goals, your captain should not be subbed off. Your captain should be the one trying to rally the team around to say, yes, we can do this. But Odegaard was nowhere to be found yesterday. And that's one thing with Odegaard. He likes to take extra touches on the ball, try to harass the ball. When you can play a true ball, play the true ball. When you want to shoot. See these guys go yesterday, both Kunya and Dorgu. there was the time to shoot and there was time to take extra touches. But what's his name? Odegaard just did whatever he decided to do. We made the sub. So let me just round up. Big massive congratulations to United. They deserve the win. They wanted it more. They showed the desire. They had the desire, and they won. So prayer on Arsenal. Big prayer on them, because next game is against Leeds, away to Leeds. So hopefully they win. Hopefully they don't win. That's their own cup of business. We have mid match in Champions League on Wednesday. Hopefully they are able to turn it around and they take on that morale and that form in the Premier League. So congratulations to United. They wanted it more and they got the 3 points.
Big congratulations to United indeed. And you mentioned something about mistakes causing a shift in momentum. It's football. Mistakes will definitely cause a shift in momentum. So, I mean, it is what it is. Sekina, do you want to speak to this game between Manchester United and Arsenal?
Well, as my Ghana's brother already said, congratulations to
your fellow losers.
No, we are still topping the table, so you should respect that. It's
Okay.
not
Take your
easy.
L. Take your L.
It's not easy to be on top of
Yes.
every game. So
W in the comment section. Call W in the comment section.
W in the chat.
L. Take your L in the comment section.
Please go ahead.
anyway, I actually expected a good performance from Man U. Looking at what they did against Man City over the last weekend, I expected a good performance, which they didn't disappoint. But what I wasn't expecting was Arsenal losing to Man U at Emirates. That was not what I expected. I expected a good performance from Man U. So for the fact that they have a new coach, but I wasn't expecting my team to, give them the room to showcase their new power. So that's the only part that I feel so much disappointed for my team.
Brian, why they shine seats? Continue, Jerry, second out.
Also, the team really tried their best. As I said, they had a lot of games before the weekend and, playing every matches every 3 days, non-rest. It's something that would definitely have an impact. But nevertheless, you cannot say you are top of the league and you playing floor games. So no one expect that from Arsenal. And there was a mistake in the game from Zubimendi. And one thing I also understand about Arsenal matches is whenever there is an error, it's really put pressure on them. And this really affected the match over the weekend. And most especially, my brother said he wasn't expecting Odegaard to be subbed off. But I think I disagree with that. Because as a captain, if you are not playing up to expectation, I would expect the first substitution I expected on that day was Odegaard, and which
sorry. Let me cut you short. I didn't say I didn't expect him to go off.
Okay.
I'm saying Odegaard should not be the one to have been subbed off, because he's the captain.
If a player is tired, you sub them off, don't you?
No, but see Bruno.
Actually, the only person
mentally, actually.
No,
Please go
the
ahead,
person that
Ewa is saying that Odegaard should have played so well
that he should not be the person going off.
Okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
Well, the only error from Arteta part that I think he did was subbing Zubimendi. Yes, once there is an error from a player, it bounds on them.
It
but
unsettles
still,
them, yeah.
Zubimendi holds the midfield, and we could see the impact when he was taken out of the game. And that's one thing that I actually noticed that affected the game. The second goal from Man U as well was a case of waiting for the referee to blow. There was hand raised for handball, which the referee ignored. And, in that, one thing that I always expect from a player is concentrate on the ball until you hear the whistle. Not like, okay, I'm waiting. And then, of course, a player is still playing because he hasn't had any referee to put a pause on the game. And that's where the error came from the second goal. The third goal, well, before the third goal, we also equalized to 2-2, which I thought would be the end of the game. Initially at the start of the game, I expected a winning, but getting to 87 minutes, I expected the game to be like, okay, let's just make it a draw
Let's
game.
just defend and wrap it up.
Yes, let it be. And the last goal was something that I really don't want to talk about. Like,
I
Brilliant.
like that goal. I saw it too. I
Fantastic.
like that goal a lot.
I don't want to talk about it. And what's really pained the most was not even the third goal from Man U, but it was the fact that the last minute opportunity that we had from
Gyökeres.
is it Gyökeres or Gyökeres? I don't know the
Yeah,
pronunciation.
yeah.
That was something that I would die on. I wasn't expecting him to shoot. One thing I expected from him at that
Pass.
moment was not even to pass, dribble the keeper. Definitely the keeper will come for you and you have an opportunity of a penalty or something. That's the opportunity that I had there, not just trying to like shoot from where it was or just find a way to dribble the keeper, let the keeper attack you, and then you have that opportunity. But, it's what it is. Congratulations, Man U, once again. You
I
had
like
the
the fact that
weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
everybody's congratulating Manchester United. Look at them, both of them. So you mentioned something while you were speaking about it's the time of the season where Arsenal are playing quite a lot of games, still in 4 or 5 competitions, I think. Playing Chelsea also on the 4th of February, I think, which is next week, and all of that. And this will begin to tell on the players in terms of it. No matter how deep your squad is, fatigue will definitely set in, coupled with the fact that there's also pressure. I think that is probably a psychological thing already going on with these Arsenal players. Let's leave Arsenal for now. Let's speak to the people who took the day. Shola, tell us what's on your mind. What was going through your mind that day, and how are you feeling now? Let me add some context for you. AY bragged so much, so please
We
speak
all
to him
bragged.
directly. Speak
We
to
all
AY
bragged.
directly.
No,
We all bragged. All Arsenal
we all
fans.
bragged, but AY's bragging was condescending.
Yes,
I agree with
I
you.
agree.
Condescending bragging.
As
He
expected
said
from
and I
someone
quote,
stopping the league.
he said, and I quote,
And someone still
that I
stopping
don't know
the
what is giving this United the confidence. You have
Yes.
not won us since, I don't know, whatever start 2017. He started. I was like,
He
we are
even
bringing a
said,
new god.
let me remind you. He even said,
Yes, please.
will Arsenal win? Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Go ahead.
100%.
That's what we expect.
Exactly.
It's
But
okay to have
because
expectations.
because he's my guy, I will not. I don't want to rub salt upon the injury that he already witnessed during the weekend. I will just speak to the game. To be honest, it was a nerve-wracking game, right? Arsenal started really, really well. They had bulk of the ball. For the most part of the first half, they controlled the match. I mean, they scored. When they scored, I felt it's over because Arsenal, we know that they are good defensively. They rarely concede. So when they scored that first goal, I felt it was over. And then they gave us a goal. What a beautiful gift from
Kind gesture,
Zubimendi. Thank you for that, Zubimendi. We love you. We appreciate you. And then, of course, Brian Bumo, one of the best finishers in the league, he took that chance. Far better than Victor
Which best
Gyökeres.
finisher?
One of the best finishers. I said one of the best finishers.
Last season, yes,
One of the
but go
best
ahead.
finishers.
The season is not over now, so give him a
His season is
break.
not over, yes. One of the best finishers.
Okay, go ahead.
So he took that chance. And then, of course, second half came. And to be honest, I was really, really impressed with how United were playing. We were not really we were trying to take the game to them. Now it was like looking a bit balanced. Of course, Arsenal still had like that edge, they were more compact. They played as if like they understood what they were doing. Like, of course, these guys have played, like, they've won so many games together. So, of course, we expected that cohesiveness from them in terms of gameplay. But that second goal came from Patrick Dorgu. And by the way, Patrick Dorgu is now moving like Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about. That goal
Giving
came,
Bill vibes.
and then it changed everything. And then I think after that goal, I would say like the game then became like 50-50. It looked like they could score. It looked like we could score. It became really, really interesting.
Anybody's game.
Of course, then I saw Arteta making 4 substitutions.
That
was the moment. That was the moment I knew that we might actually win this game. Because it's like poker, It's like he showed his card. It's like a poker face. It's like at times you just don't do it. You just don't do 4 substitutions like at the same time. You just maybe wait 5 minutes, wait 15 minutes to do another substitution. Bringing on Eze, Merino, Ben White, and Gyökeres. Straight up, I felt Carrick was actually doing something that was actually like getting to Arteta. But I think the substitution proved to be correct because they got the goal, they got the equalizer. And to be honest, when they got the second goal, I thought they were going to win. I thought they were actually going to win because it's Arsenal, for crying out loud, and they got like second goal in front of their fans. I felt, they were going to win. And then I just went to the kitchen. And then I heard Matthias
Bruno Cunha.
Everywhere was blue. Everywhere was like the goal. What a sensational goal! I mean, I can't. You can't blame defender. If that was a goal that you can't really blame Arteta for. You can't blame Arsenal for. You can't blame defenders for. It was just a screamer. It was a pure moment of instinct and pure moment of magic from Matheus Cunha, which, to be honest, top class, right to the bottom right corner. It was. You can't even blame Ryan too. He tried his best. He tried to. You were not. Nobody, like, it was an unsavable goal. Just to say. So, to be honest, in that way, I would not say that Arsenal have automatically now perhaps going to bottle the league again. I think we just had our moments in that game. Like, there were literally 2 unsavable goals from Manchester United, if you think about it. So, yeah. So, I say Arsenal. To be honest, they've come a long way. I really want them, in my heart of hearts, I really want them to win. Except maybe they can lose 4 in a row and win 4 in a row. Then I can. but obviously, I don't see United as a title contender, right? So, and then if I'm going to tap the next title contender, I'll probably tap Arsenal for it. But now, they said Arsenal went spiritual. And Pep Guardiola too has now decided to go spiritual. He's now buying
children of pastors.
Players.
Yes.
Semenyo,
Maguire.
So it's not Bible for Bible, spiritual for spiritual. Release. So now, the reason why
it is now a spiritual warfare.
Is that a spiritual? It's going to be an interesting title race. Yes.
Thank you. Brown, the pressure is building.
Say one thing before
Go ahead, please.
So what I would like to say is sometimes maybe we should not blame coaches when they decide to do certain things. Looking back now, I was looking at the City game against Arsenal. Pep Guardiola decided to play a low block to at least gain 1 point. Arsenal decided to play safe at least to get 1 point. All Arsenal fans yesterday would have accepted 1 point. If Arteta had said, okay, we've scored 2, let's play low block. But it's still the same fans that will come for Arteta and say, we've scored the second goal, why not go out? Why not do? Now he decided to go out now. We don't chop the 3.
No. He already made the substitution before the second goal. He already made the 4 substitutions before the second goal.
Even with the 4 substitution, they can still play low block now. Merino is a defender.
Of course.
Declan Rice is back. Ben White was part of the sub. He came back. Gyökeres can just be the one up front. Everybody can just fall back and decide to play low block. But
True.
in summary,
take the
maybe
1
we should
point.
not blame coaches when...
To be honest, AY, to be honest, if you are in front of your fans and you have been knocking the door and then you got that much needed second goal, your mentality is that you can actually win this.
You want to go. Anyway, that's true.
That's your mentality, because now
if
the emotions, the atmosphere has already shifted from United to you. All of a sudden, the emotions, like the psychologically, United are down, you guys are up there, you are excited, so you are like, let's go get the win. So I can't really blame. I'll just clap for Matheus Cunha, man. It was just him.
say that I think that as title contenders, and especially at this time of the season, you definitely want to look at certain games and be like, I'll take a draw from this. For instance, if Arsenal is playing like the game against Manchester United, I would assume that Arteta would have encouraged the boys to go out there and win it. But as soon as it looks like this is going to be a very tough game, I feel you could have changed and told them, let's keep this at a draw. Because, I mean, you still get to lead with 5 points. Approximately 2
That's
games,
something
right?
better
But
than 4.
Yeah, better than 4. So, Brown, go ahead.
So, I mean, yes, to be very honest, in hindsight, nobody loses any game. Pardon my voice. I've actually lost my voice as a result of that win yesterday.
Metropolitan Police, come on!
If you look at if you look at any game whatsoever, regardless of the game, right, in whatever competition, in hindsight, nobody loses any game, to be honest. So we can sit here, say this should have been done, that should have been done. But at the end of the day, as a football fan, right, not as a Manchester United fan alone, I feel like there are certain things when it comes to on the pitch football that you really cannot coach. And more often than not, modern coaches try to want to manage every single play on the pitch. And more often than not, I feel like it comes back to bite them. And when it does bite them, it bites them really, really hard. So if you look at the goals that were scored by Patrick Dorgu and Matheus Cunha, right? Those goals were not coached by nobody. You don't coach goals like that, right? Now, when you look at the Arsenal team, of course, I will take nothing away from this team because Mikel Arteta has done a fantastic job taking the team from where they were to where they currently are. And as much as I hate to say this, I would, for a change, rather maybe Arsenal wins the league, Let them just win the league because, I mean, they've really worked really hard to get to where they are now. But then again, when you look at the game of football on the pitch, you cannot coach every single play.
This
Arsenal
time
had a
everyone
good.
is giving us pity winning trophy. What's going
No,
on?
really, you people
Like,
should win it. Really.
is it
No,
is
I
it
think a
gonna be
lot of
like
people, I think a lot of fans, in their heart of heart, they actually want Arsenal to win it. Like, it's been
Yes,
20,
I do too.
24 years now.
You
or
guys
how
don't
long?
want
Yes.
us to
no
win
wait,
it
no
because
doubt, but I hope
you
it
guys
will
don't
not
want us to
be
win
a
it.
situation whereby it will be
We
yeah,
want
we
it to
just
win
give
it, but we
them
don't want it to run
we
away
just
with it.
give them
We
the
want it to win it,
trophy
but we don't
because
want it
we
to just run
pity
away
them.
with it. Like we
And,
don't
Like
play
and
like
see,
Bundesliga, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, even if I there's this part of me that do not want Arsenal to win, and the reason for that is because I feel like Arsenal fans tend to live in their own fantasy world where they believe because they are doing well currently, therefore every single player in the Arsenal team is better than the rest of the teams in the world in the Premier League. So that's the fantasy world they live in. That sometimes I want them to lose so they come out of that delusion. Other than that, just for the sake of letting them have it, for the amount of work and money they have spent in that team, let them at least have a taste of it. So that's on that part. But then when it comes down to this game, let me speak to the game particularly. Yes, you can choose not to blame Arteta for whatsoever reason and all that and all that. But at the end of the day, I feel like a huge chunk of the blame comes to the coach, right? Because if Michael Carrick had taken over Manchester United and we had lost our first match to Man City, nobody would actually blame him, right? That was what we all were expecting. And then if the same had happened against Arsenal, really, what can you really blame him about? But this same set of players were the same people who were drawing games with against 20th placed Wolves at home, after coming off the back of a win against Newcastle. Same players. The only change was the coach. So if that can happen in two big games like this, and we were scoring like we had never even struggled before, who else can you credit these accolades to other than the coach? So when it comes to the Mikel Arteta, Pep Guardiola thing, right, they do very similar things, right? Now, there are things you cannot coach on the pitch. And I feel like Arteta tries too hard to want to control every single play by these Arsenal players. For goodness sakes, these guys are talented, like it or hate it. Jesus has won the Premier League before with Man City. Declan Rice was an European champion before he came to Arsenal. These are leaders. Let them play. Eze, before he came to Arsenal, was one of the best players for Palace, where they won against a Man City side. But when Arteta tries to control
Liverpool
this,
side too.
you know, when they control this team, when he controls this team, he wants to literally manage every single action and play of the team. And that is something, as a young coach, this is the mistake I feel like they are making, right? You don't allow players to express themselves.
No mistakes will happen on the
No,
pitch. Not
I'm
that.
not, those things can happen
Mistakes will
in
happen on the
games, right?
pitch.
But I'm saying that
Arteta does he also
the
tell
kind
them how to
of
score goals,
brilliance
does he?
you expect, and we didn't outplay Arsenal in this game, to be honest. We did not outplay Arsenal. As much as they were being cautious, we were also being cautious to a very large extent, right? Especially when we went 2 goals up. But at the end of the day, it was the brilliance of these individual players that got us the 3 points. So if you look at the play when Saka was on the right side, Saka goes, he tries to dribble the left back. If he does not succeed, he comes back. You give Odegaard the ball, he gets 2, 3, 4 touches. If there's no opening for him to pass the ball through those line breaking passes, he goes back. Look at Zubimendi, they go back, going sideways, going backwards, you will not win games. And then you rely on set piece, you rely on corner kicks to win games. You don't win games like that. As much as Guardiola has invested money in the Man City side, right? Guardiola has also been able to allow players play a certain, like in areas where individual players would shine, right? Individual brilliance will shine. He allows them. Look at Semenyo, for instance. The last game they played against Wolves, when you see Semenyo hold the ball on the flank, right? The same position Saka plays. He tries to go outside. If there's no opening, he cuts it to his left side and he takes a shot. He did that thing 2 consecutive times against Wolves. One of those struck the bar. Allow players be themselves. One of the matches that Arsenal won, I've forgotten, in the earlier half of the season, there was this beautiful line breaking over the top pass that Eze gave that
So
opened up
City,
the entire defense.
Martinelli.
Thank you for Martinelli to slot in. These things are not coached on the pitch. Allow players be themselves. So at the end of the day, I blame Arteta. And when you look at these players, the mentality shift, it all stems from the coach. Making forced substitutions is just a sign of panic. And that translates to these players. They get these signals. And for players that have been in this position way too many times, you do not need that right now. I hope that after this result, they can go back, because it's not a football playing thing. It's about giving these guys the confidence to go over the line. Arsenal has done so much, so many good things, but to go over the line with the amount of competitions they are currently in, they actually need to be mentally stronger. But if they continue with the way they are going, it will just be the same result, and that will be really disappointing. So yeah, Arteta to blame for me. Arteta to blame.
I mean, but I wouldn't really blame the coach too much. I would think that is taking a somewhat conservative approach at this moment, because it's, I mean, getting towards the end of the season, there's a lot of pressure. But of course, making 4 substitutions all at once is definitely pressure, which.
But let me interject. Look at their record against big teams. It tries to be overly conservative and they end up losing. They went to Anfield in the beginning, in the earlier stages of the season, be conservative. What did they lost to to one free kick from Soboslai. Against Manchester United, you want to be conservative in the earlier stages. What happened? Individual brilliance took all points away from you. They played against the only team I felt they were convincing against, right, was Tottenham, where they won like 4-1. That's the
Tottenham
only
are not
thing
a
they have
team.
actually. Look at Chelsea. Look at Chelsea, for instance.
Even
Chelsea
with the red
played
card.
with one man down. You cannot have so much respect for these teams. Go out, play the way you would play your football with other teams. Let these players be themselves. Let them express themselves. Whatever comes out of it, fine. Sometimes when we play at Old Trafford, right, we are not really angry at we losing games. It's the nature of how we lost. When we played against Lyon in the UEFA Europa League, we won that game narrowly, yes. But if you look at the way we played, it was so entertaining that you would go back and rewatch that match, even though we had lost that game. But that fight and individual brilliance from these players were not things that were coached or managed. They were playing how they were playing as a result of how they felt, what they understand, what they know, and they do their thing on the pitch. And that is what you need to allow these players do. Let them express themselves. Do not try too hard to control how passing patterns, crossing patterns. If that is what you want to do, let us just keep the set piece coach and remove you, because it is only set piece we are scoring with.
I'm trying to agree with you. Quite a lot. Arsenal has come under pressure, especially after this Manchester United game for it's football. It's part of football, right? But for relying more on a particular kind
He had
of
about
play.
20-something corners in that match.
Yeah, a particular kind of play. But nonetheless, before we just speak about the VAR, I wouldn't call it controversies. There were, well, maybe controversy that happened in the Manchester United Arsenal game. I just want to remind Arsenal fans on this call and everywhere that you should watch your back. Man City won their game. And now let me add to you. Let me add this to the point I was trying to make. Guardiola is trying something new. Do you know what it is? He has started benching
Haaland.
Yes. And now he's trying to revert back to this Manchester City team that had Aguero, that had Silva, very fluid interchange of play and all of that. So it worked. It worked really well, actually. And now with Semenyo coming to the team, also offering goals and all of that, and assists also. There was that shot that it took that hit the crossbar. It was such a good hit. Villa, even though they are not hoping to win, they just won Champions League, but it's 4 points, right? Arsenal, watch your back. Now, the VAR controversies that came up during the game, the handball from, in quote, handball from Dorgu that eventually led to the goal, and then the handball from Maguire. Brown, you can speak to the one from Dorgu, and then Shola, you can speak to the one from Maguire.
Okay. Personally, I do not feel like that was a handball from Dorgu, because when you look at the replay closely, the ball struck his thigh first before touching his arm, and you could tell that he was consciously trying to take away his arm from the ball. So I can't say for sure if the ball struck his arm, but going by the replay, it's obvious that it struck his thigh. Is his arm close to his thigh? Yes. Close to his body? Yes. So I just feel like it's a game of, like Shekinat said earlier, you do not stop playing. Play until you hear the sound of the whistle. So instead of complaining, and I think this is something we need to give Caicedo kudos for, because Caicedo is that guy that would do everything possible to disrupt that play and wait for the referee to call it, as against waiting for the referee when play is still ongoing, right? So you do not stop playing, keep playing until. And funny thing is, Zubimendi, even though Arsenal has been doing quite well, but in the last two games before this United game, they've had very poor results, in my personal opinion, and I believe the same sentiments are shared by Arsenal fans too. You know, so Zubimendi has not been the best of DMs in their last two games leading up to this game. So for you to now stop playing and hope that the referee calls it, come on, you cannot do that. And I'm happy personally for Dogu that that goal was not ruled out, because
That's tough.
it would have been a shame that such a brilliant goal was taken away from that kind of player, you know. So personally, I don't think that was a handball, to be honest, regardless of whether or not I'm United.
I mean, this is where the game is at the moment, where there's VAR, and for most incidents, the VAR has to see the referees have to see it play out. You don't
Right.
maybe except at the AFCON where they scored the goal, and before they scored the goal, the referee already blew the whistle, right? Those sort of things should not be happening. If there's a face-off play going on, let that phase end before you
Yes.
blow the whistle. And the same applies to the players. Continue to play until the phase ends. So I would take the VAR question away from Shola. I would actually give it to the Arsenal fan. AY, do you think you were robbed? Should you have gotten a penalty from the Maguire incident?
So for me, the Maguire incident. The Maguire incident was a very, very, very smart one from Maguire. And I will tell you why. Why? Because you know there are some very technical fouls that some players will make that you know that this is actually technical. You can get a card for it. You might decide not to get a card for it depending on the referee. On a normal day, another referee would have given that as a penalty. And I will tell you why. Because if you are going down as a referee, you are defending a shot, your hands are meant to be like this. Then if you decide to fall, you can fall anyhow you want to fall. But Maguire just knew that, okay,
Without
you
your
know, these
arm.
players also,
That's
these players,
Wait, more
they
like
also,
this.
these players also know the rules. So they know that if your hand is in the natural position, they would not count the goal. So of course he decided to go like this. Like I said, if it's any other referee, they would have at least sent him to the monitor to go and check. Then he can now decide to give or not give. But personally, I will not even hold that one against United or against Arsenal, because Arsenal, we did not deserve to win that game. Because if you had chance, if you created more chances, you would definitely score. It's not Maguire that said Gyökeres should not score the opportunity he had. If Gyökeres scored, they would have counted it. So take your chances, decide whatever you want to do, and you would have either won or drawn the game. So was it a penalty? I would say 50-50. Very, very smart from Maguire. The first one, it hits this guy's hand. This one that I say Kineko, it hits Dogu's hand. But I would say that one is actually in a more natural position because it was beside him like this than the Maguire one.
Yeah, it was on
So yeah, so that's what I have to say.
I mean, before Shekina speaks, I'd just like to quickly say something about the Dogu goal. I think it's also it's discretionary for the referee. The fact that that particular incident led to a goal should have been more reason to actually chop it off. I mean, it's the referee's decision in the end. Shekina, go ahead.
Okay. So actually, that was what I wanted to say as well. As much as I feel the Dogo's second goal, was it? Oh, that was the second goal. Yeah.
Second goal. Yeah.
To me, I expected the referee to check the VAR in both cases, not just for Douglas, but I expect it to be like checking the VAR because the goal was like there was a goal. And also one of the reasons why, because I was moving around when the match was on, but still I waited to double check. Okay, I saw the handball and I expected the VAR to be checked. So why did the referee not do that? That's a question. And the question I would ask is Carrick the new Alex Ferguson that we should be expecting?
To be worried about.
No, I mean like because
that's none of your
that's
a very good question. That's a very good question because it keeps things very simple.
Are you saying Ferguson stole most of the trophies he
No,
won in
to be
England?
honest, I've even been seeing online a lot of people saying we have
better players,
Alex Carrick Ferguson, so more like we should be expecting a lot of
I see what you mean. Decisions going Manchester United way.
Yeah, it's now going back to the old ways where if we have to count all the trophies from Man U during Alex Ferguson's time, we can as well say most of it are like favorable trophies. It's not based on their matches.
I mean, a lot of opposition fans will share that sentiment, and I
Nah,
wouldn't
so
even
Yes.
argue
nah,
it with
so
you.
It's
I
no.
But
mean,
would you also say that the ones that were won by the Arsenal, Chelsea teams all of those years were also because the FA was
there's
favoring? Come on.
no,
No,
there
nobody
no,
was
was
favoring.
there
Man
was
In
there
Man
was
U's
fact,
there
own
was
was
nothing like
on the
there was nothing like
contrary,
Arteta time. There was nothing like Arteta
contrary,
time.
Arteta is at his first job. He does not even have anything to his CV. So Arteta is
not
not
that
in
I
this
agree with.
conversation.
anyway,
I said
about the sorry, about the penalty, like I said, so when it was replayed, I noticed that the position, yes, of course, I would expect the VAR to be checked, but looking at the position, the hand was close to the body. So that can be overlooked. But in a situation whereby goal was like there was a goal, I would expect the referee to double check. And the second one, the Maguire one, that was a penalty. That's what I would say. Because, you cannot say because a player was falling or was side handling, the hand was clearly like this, out, not in the position of the body.
and it
You
obstructed
can be
a
like
goal.
this and have your ball.
But he was falling down. So you need that supporting arm. I mean,
So the
I mean, I
rule
wouldn't,
actually,
I
the
let me
wouldn't,
rule,
I
the
read the
wouldn't,
rule is
I
in
wouldn't,
IFAB
support.
rule. Let
Yes,
me
the
read
rule
the
is in
I
support
IFAB
of
wouldn't say,
rule.
Maguire.
I
Actually,
wouldn't say it's like totally a penalty. I would say
Shala,
maybe 50
one
50.
second, please.
And
actually, it
According
is not even
to
50
we've
50.
had this against us that they did not also give
Shola,
something similar
it's
like
not
that.
50. It's not even 50 50.
No.
The
no,
rule, the
it's
rule,
not
the
Really
rule
clear.
according
clearly
to the IFAB rule 12,
should not be a penalty.
IFAB rule 12, it states
Now that's now
number
make
one,
IFAB rule
the
come.
arm,
No. It is the standard actually. It
it's
is
a
not a
Premier League
penalty.
standard. They use it.
Yes.
No,
The
There are
arm
no,
is.
games, but there
my
are games that
concern.
they will
You know
give
my
you.
Let's
concern,
hear the rule. Let's hear the
Brown.
rule.
I'm going to I'm
This is
going
not
to
the
read
law of
the
the
only
jungle.
one that speaks to
This
this
is not
Maguire
set piece rule.
situation.
This is the
Yes.
rule of
I'll read
IFAB.
the one that speaks to Maguire's situation. It's not me that
Please go
made it.
ahead.
It's there. According to the IFAB rule, Law 12 states, and I quote, one of it states, I quote, the arm, it is not handball when the arm is being used to balance while
That's
running, turning, or supporting the body as a result of falling. It's not me.
very correct.
It's not
That's
me.
very correct.
But then at this
It's not
point, we
me.
shouldn't be
No
having any
penalty. You didn't
handball.
even need to check
Because
VAR
It's the
there.
law.
no,
It's the law.
The application of this law is dependent on the referee. I've seen certain
no.
cases where this sort of penalty has been given.
Was also given.
Yes,
Lisandro
so
Martinez against
it's
Lisandro
discretionary.
Martinez last
But
season.
the law
Whether
is
it's a
there.
penalty
But the
or
law
not,
is there.
why did the referee? Why did he not check? That's the
Because
question.
there's nothing
Because
to check.
if there was
There
a
was nothing
second
to.
thought on
There
that,
was
There's
was
nothing
nothing
to check.
And
Yes.
when the referee
According to the law,
goes,
it was clear.
when the referee sees a decision that he thinks that he has made his decision and he is going to abide by the decision, I see that there is really no point going to the VAR to waste time.
To the screen,
Again,
yes. The
waste
VAR
like 4
probably checks and they
minutes,
tell him that there's
reduce
no
the
need.
tempo of the game, and then it
So
becomes another controversy on Monday, and then they're like, did the VAR make the right call or not make the right call and stuff like that. So I
But
will give it to the
the
ref.
law, the law
And the
actually
law also support the ref. But there is
clarifies
one
this
thing that I want
particular
to speak to
situation.
before we move on. I will not tolerate disrespect on the name of Sir Alex Ferguson.
Everything. I stand with you,
This
my
is a
brother. I stand
two-time
with you.
Champions League winner.
Not just
To
yeah,
say that the refs in the
yeah,
Premier League favored him. What about the referee in Europe?
in
yeah.
the Champions
No,
League
We
in
beat
Europe.
Messi Barcelona and we beat Chelsea, star-studded Chelsea, to win the Champions League.
Have you forgotten what the situation is now? It's always, I don't know if they're related or it's just a thing, or
Mike Carrick
maybe
has only coached
you are
two
holding him
games
as
now since
ransom.
he came back.
Do
He
you,
has
do
only
you know
coached two
how weird
games.
it
I
is?
think it's conspiracy
You know,
He has
theory.
only
you know
coached two games. So
when
you
Arsenal is
cannot say
playing.
that Michael Carrick is benefiting from favoritism because he has just coached two games. Let's say
No,
maybe
I
15
don't think
I'm
games
it's
not
now.
favoritism.
saying no, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Carrick. I'm asking, is Man U as a whole, like, are you back to the
What
old
for?
ways?
Why?
Hmm?
Why? Who
Why are
cares?
you asking that? Oh, back to our winning ways.
Wait,
Do you mean back to our winning ways?
no, it's not a winning ways, but it's just,
And
when
Fadi time was
I
like
know
us
a
scoring
lot
in
of,
9 minutes. It was not like us not like It
No,
was
so
just
let me
us scoring in that minute.
let me
And
buttress
if
what
you know
she's
that
saying.
previously, because football is changing slightly, but previously, usually in the past, when there's like a dangerous attack in the dying minutes, usually the
They
referee
don't stop the
they don't
game.
blow. They don't try to disrupt the game. When you are like
Yes.
over there, corner is happening, throwing is happening, corner is happening, and you are trying to get that goal, the referee will not like blow. But now you see the referee can just blow anyhow and say the game
Yes.
has ended.
But
Those things don't happen in the past. Games were more.
Man, you has web in your corner. I don't know what you have
Oh,
against
what
football.
web?
It's conspiracy. It's conspiracy.
Conspiracy,
This
conspiracy.
one will not fly. This one
Okay,
will not fly.
let's move on to
Anyway.
it's the last game week of the UEFA Champions League, and there are quite a number of important games for some teams. Arsenal does not need this game; they're already in the next round. Although they are playing Kairat
Who are you playing?
Almaty.
Carabao Mighty. I don't know what they're playing.
Kairat Almaty. Athletic Club. Athletic Club will be playing Sporting CP. They need that game also to qualify. There's Atletico Madrid against Bodo Glimt. Atletico Madrid needs this game to qualify. And why this game is of particular interest to us is because Bodo Glimt annihilated Manchester City. Are they strong enough? Are they solid enough to do the same thing to scuttle the chances of Atletico Madrid? I will be discussing that also. There's Napoli against Chelsea, a must-win game for Chelsea if we're not going to be relying on the performances of the teams below us. Because I think from the 5th position to like the 8th or 9th position, everybody well on the same points, just separated by goal difference, something like that. There's also Manchester City who needs to win against Galatasaray to qualify. There's, PSG also playing against Newcastle. This is also a very crucial game. I'll start with Brown, Napoli, Chelsea. What do you think?
I mean, this is a very crucial game for both teams, to be honest, because Chelsea, they with the new coach, Liam Rosner is doing a great job with this team, right? But and Napoli, like I said earlier, in our last episodes, they are currently struggling for goals.
They lost against Juve also.
Exactly. So that weekend they lost against Juve, which was something nearly a lot of us saw that coming, especially because they are not firing up front. So I feel like it's going to be a very difficult game. They are playing at home. Chelsea is coming over there, and Chelsea also wants to escape the playoffs, so they have to finish in the top 8. So therefore, they need all 3 points. It's going to be a very difficult game. Ultimately, with what is happening around Chelsea now, I feel like somehow they would, if they stay solid behind at the back line, they'll create an upset against Napoli, regardless of whether or not Napoli is at home. So I see Liam Rosner setting up a good attacking team against these guys, and then hopefully Chelsea gets the win, because I mean I want Premier League teams to actually do well in this tournament, so it increases our chances moving forward in the next edition. So yeah, I would give Chelsea a narrow 2-1 win for this one. Difficult game to say the least.
I agree. It's definitely going to be a difficult game. Napoli are 25th placed, placed in 25th position. They need a win at least to even be considered for playoffs. Right? And for Chelsea, we need a win not to play playoffs. So PSG Newcastle, Shola.
Okay, thank you. But I actually just quickly wanted to speak to Napoli and Chelsea, if you don't mind.
Quickly, yes.
Liam Rosner had an opportunity to play Arsenal. He didn't win. That was a big match for him. So I wouldn't say he has really been tested with Charlton, Brentford, and Crystal Palace wins. I would not say I think those are games that Chelsea perhaps would have won without a coach.
I disagree.
Premier League is tough.
We have struggled against those teams.
Yeah.
Chelsea have struggled against those teams in the past.
No problem. But I think that Conte is going to be back to the sideline, and then you're going to see the wrath of Conte at.
I don't think there's any wrath coming from anywhere.
At Napoli, and also Conte knows Chelsea. He knows Chelsea. Maybe not this squad, but he knows the club. Like he understands the structure of the club and stuff like that. And lastly, they need the point more than Chelsea. And they actually play more passionately than this Chelsea. So
you think
so? And they also have crazier fans. You know, when we talk about
I
Galatasaray,
agree on that.
we may say what we want to say about Galatasaray, that maybe they won't win, but we know that when you go to Galatasaray to play at that stadium, we know that you are going to witness, it's going to be a crazy atmosphere. You are going to, just expect the toughest of reaction, hostility from the fans and stuff like that. So I would say that all of those things are in the favor of Napoli to win, right? To win either narrowly or like maybe narrowly, because of course Chelsea are also a big team. So that's what I would just say. So I expect a draw or a
Like
win to Napoli.
it speaks a lot to the character of the Chelsea players if these young guys are able to,
If they get it, I
withstand
would say
that
I'm saying I
atmosphere.
would be the biggest fan of Liam Rosen.
No, I think I think this should be a win. Will be difficult regardless because there's quite a lot
Can you
at
beat your
stake.
chest like AY? The Arsenal fan said that.
No, I can't.
Absolutely.
I can't do that. And here's why. Here's why I won't do that. Chelsea, we are currently in a transition, and I cannot particularly say that I see a significant tactical shift yet. But I see that we are trying to draw the opposition in and then beat them on the counter attack, which was something we did against Crystal Palace a lot yesterday, right? I have seen that. But I don't see too much. I don't think this coach is that guy that wants to pass the ball so much. He just wants to. He's very legacy coach. He just wants to play you, counter attack you, at least for now. And he also said it in his press conference that he's not looking to make too many changes at the moment. Before you speak to the PSG, just some context, both are on 13 points. In fact, Real Madrid could be at risk, could, in quotes, although they have 11 goal difference, depending on how the teams below, the goal margins and all of that. If all of the teams below, which they wouldn't win, because from third place up until 13th place is just 2-point difference. Madrid being 15, Tottenham 14, every other person 13. So there's quite a lot going on in there. And PSG is in 6th, Newcastle are in 7th. What do you think will be the outcome of this game? Newcastle, keep in mind, performed very well against big teams. Go ahead.
I mean, we know PSG, they are like, maybe they're not the world champion, but they should have been the world champion, in quotes.
What do you mean?
I mean, they're the world champion.
They are not. Chelsea are the world champions.
That was a fluke world champion trophy.
No, can never be.
But the official Champions League world champion that every one of us.
Champions League is not world, it's Europe. Chelsea Football Club are the world champions. Go ahead.
So I see PSG. PSG, of course, they are PSG. And we also that brilliant goal that Dembele scored recently.
Yes.
So, and when we also try to link it up to Arsenal match, we say, how Man U won was just because of moments of brilliance for some players. We know what Newcastle are going to do. They're going to become really, really physical. That's what they try to do. They're going to go long, try to go direct, try to frustrate you, try to use the energy, try to use the muscle. That's why at times it seems that the only team that really proves difficult for Arsenal to beat is Newcastle, because it's like they understand Arsenal. They can match Arsenal energy, physical energy, and black heart and everything. They can really match it. But when you play against a team like PSG, although they've not really been that fantastic this season, especially in the Ligue 1, but in the Champions League, they are like a different ballgame. When you play a team like PSG, this is a tactical team. They are not going to be trying to be physical with you. They are going to strategically analyze your game, and try to break you little by little and get the win. So to me, it was just like what Arsenal did against Real Madrid last season, where they broke Real Madrid strategically. I wonder if Arteta could go back and rewatch that match, maybe get some inspiration from there and relearn what he did in that match. Maybe it will help him now. But Arsenal was just fantastic. They were just fantastic that day. And they didn't have to do running like Real Madrid will rely on counter and running. They just strategically played Real Madrid, and then they got a convincing win at the Santiago Bernabeu. That's what I see PSG doing to this Newcastle team. They're going to just play them.
They're going to annihilate them.
They are going to, I wouldn't say blow them over the water, because physicality also works. Maybe narrowly by 3-2 or 4-2. 4-2 is not narrow, right? Is that it's like a 3-2 or 3-1, or But it's going to be tough for PSG, of course. But I see PSG coming over Newcastle in
Okay.
this one.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Champions League, just to add, in the Champions League, right, PSG has not been at their very best because in their last 5 games, they've won only just 2, drew 1, lost 2. Even their last game against Sporting CP, where they went away to Portugal, they lost that game,
The
by
last.
2
Yeah.
goals to 1. So PSG has not really, really been the best of teams in Europe. Even in the league, yes, they sit in the top 3 positions, but
It's
they
a
are
one
still,
us. It's a one us race,
you know, they are not their usual self. So you could argue that, oh, maybe injuries is stemming from them, given the number of games they played last season and all that. So that is perhaps taking its toll on the team now. But yes, I agree with the whole idea of them being a very technical team, and they will try to use that to outsmart a more physical Newcastle side. But I mean, if PSG comes on top of this one with a win, I would really be surprised, to be honest. I see Newcastle winning this one, to be honest.
I also think Newcastle will give them a good fight. Can I just speak to Man City Galatasaray? Both teams are in a very precarious situation. Galatasaray needs, I wouldn't say even a draw, because depending on the results below them also, they need to win to secure playoffs. Man City needs to win to avoid playoffs. What do you think the outcome of this game will be?
Well, I think Man City is gonna use every power they have. They home advantage. I
Please
mean,
don't do
Sorry,
this. Don't
sorry,
do
sorry. The
this.
reason why we are laughing, is because the exact word that you used was
Yeah,
the exact word
everything in
that
their
Brown
power.
used. That Man City is going to use everything in their power.
no, because that's just reality. They will make use of their home advantage against Galatasaray, and it's an opportunity for them to be among the straight to round 16. So, what do you think would happen? Except everyone wants Pep to just collapse. He would rather
We don't
finish the
mind.
game.
We don't mind.
So he would rather finish the game with a win than a draw, because at this point draw doesn't count for them. Everyone is trying as much as possible to win this last game. At least I can be a proud Gunners babe. No, just a chilling Wednesday for us, nothing to worry about. But that's not the case for every other team, and that's why Man City needs to play like they really depend on it. No doubt, fully, even if they end up being to the playoff, doesn't mean that they will not continue the Champions League. But this is just an opportunity for them, and I think they would make use of the advantage. That's my take on it. I wanted to talk about Galatasaray on the other hand too. Um, they would also try their best, not to fall out of the playoff. So, um, yes, despite the fact that there will be home advantage to Man City's side, I think they would also put on their efforts to not get out of the playoff. And Osimhen is back, right?
Yeah, yes, yes. Played
I
in the
Scored
last
a
also
game.
goal
expect
last week.
it. So I expect a tough game from them too. So it's more or less like we died there for both parties.
For both of them, actually. It's going to be a very important game for the two of them.
Mhm.
Anyway, Atletico Madrid up against Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt are not really looking for anything. I mean, it's been a fanfare for them in the Champions League. Their only win is the one against Man City. They've drawn 3, lost 3. They're sitting in 20th place. Although there's a slim chance of playing in playoffs, they have 6 points at the moment. And the teams in the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th position are all on 8 points. So if by any chance something happens there and Bodo Glimt grabs a win against Atletico Madrid, they get 9 points and they get the chance to play in the playoffs. Atletico Madrid, on the other hand, are seated in 12th, or sitting in 12th at the moment with 13 points, same as with Chelsea, with Newcastle, with Paris Saint-Germain also. They need this win. What do you think will be the outcome of this game? Will Atletico Madrid annihilate this Bodo Glimt team, or Bodo Glimt would annihilate Atletico Madrid to grab the position for playoffs?
So the interesting thing about Wednesday's games is the fact that all the matches will be played at once.
Yes.
So
yes.
you will see tables just start turning
Just-
on its own.
That Premier
will be in
League
ninth position.
Premier League last day euphoria
30th
where everybody's
game,
just changing.
Someone will be in the 8th position, and before you know it, you are gone to 12th.
I'll get to 12.
But to answer your question, I think Atletico Madrid might edge this one due to the fact that they are home. They won their last game yesterday against Mallorca 3-0, I guess. And I can't remember the last results at the Champions League. Maybe they drew. But I
They
think...
drew to Galatasaray. Galatasaray.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true. Yeah, they drew to Galatasaray. So I see Atletico actually winning narrowly because they are home and because of their home fans. And just because they are also in contention of avoiding playoff. They are currently 12th. If they win their game, it will move them to 16 points. And hopefully maybe Barca would draw, or maybe Chelsea would lose, or maybe
Well, why would Chelsea lose?
Something just happened.
These people don't like us. Why would Chelsea lose?
But Chelsea if you lose,
would
you can't
lose.
qualify now. You go and play playoff.
They
But they'll
can't
play
qualify. They
Yeah.
have to play. They'll play
We have to play
playoff.
playoffs. It means that we play more games.
So
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
why I
you need it.
said
You're not playing anywhere else. You need it.
I don't understand. Chelsea is not playing anywhere else.
But they
Chelsea
have
are still
Arsenal
in,
in the
we are still in the
Carabao Cup.
we are still in the Carabao Cup. We are still in the FA Cup. It's Man U that is not playing
Based on
anything.
the table, I'm thinking we are the same. It's like we are leaving us now.
Okay, we can expect very... yes, please finish.
So I see Atletico edging narrowly, either 1-0 or 2-1.
I'm sure we can all expect very, interesting games to watch this week, especially with the part where you mentioned that the teams on the table will just be switching as though it's in the casinos. I can't wait to see that. But I mean, for the clubs that we support, we are hopeful that, especially for me, Chelsea, I'm hopeful that we get to qualify without playing playoffs. Game.
I don't think you
Whoa.
guys heard me. I mean,
What did you say?
it's so unfortunate that we are talking about Champions League now and some team cannot have anything to say.
A low blow.
It's where.
What's
It's
up?
where.
Hey,
No, I'm
Okay,
just
That's a very,
I'm just
that's a
trying
very good
to
way.
say,
No, it's
because they had the
it's
weekend.
because
You
we
know
have
what I
won it
call them?
twice.
There was,
So we said let's leave
there
so that
was
we give advantage to people that have not won it.
there
People
was
that were opportunity to
no,
win it in 2006
no.
and threw it
you know
away.
Let's allow
there
them
was
now.
Let's
news
allow
over
them.
the
Nazo.
weekend,
Let
and
the
I think it's
upcomers
very-
upcoming.
I call them
I think
the
it's a good way.
upcoming Premier League title race now.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's a very good way to end the show, giving a very tough low blow to the Manchester United fans. They're not playing in the Champions League. They should not be in this discussion. But anyways, we'll see you all on the next one. Don't forget to, put your comments in the comment section if you want to say something about a particular part of the show. Also like, subscribe, share with other persons, and bye for now.